My ex-wife is using our kids as leverage to bleed me dry, and I don't know what to do. Hey Reddit, so I'm Ethan, 37, divorced dad of two amazing kids, Lily 8 and Noah 6. My family has always been complicated. My brother's a lawyer, my sister's a doctor, and me, I'm a carpenter. They never outright said it, but I've always felt like the less than in the family. My ex, Bethany, really latched onto that. Even during our marriage, she'd use it against me. Now that we're divorced, it's 1,000 times worse. She acts all nice and reasonable on the surface, but underneath, it's all manipulation. She's convinced I'm loaded, I'm so not, and she's determined to get every penny she can. The worst part? She's using Lily and Noah to do it. I'm at my wit's end. I'm losing sleep, I'm skipping meals to make these extra payments she keeps demanding, and I feel like I'm losing my kids. This can't keep going on. Something has to give. You guys won't believe what happened this weekend. It was supposed to be my weekend with the kids. We had plans: mini golf, pizza, the whole 9 yards. I'd already cleared my schedule, bought the tickets for the glow-in-the-dark course Lily's been begging to go to. Then Friday afternoon, I get this text from Bethany. So sorry, Ethan, Lily and Noah have a mandatory school function this weekend. Visitation canceled. Mandatory school function? On a weekend, something felt off. I called the school. No function. My stomach dropped. I felt this wave of nausea, like I was going to be sick. This wasn't the first time she'd pulled something like this, but this time it felt different. Like she was really trying to cut me out. Then the real kick in the gut. Scrolling through Facebook later that night, what do I see? Pictures of Bethany, Lily, and Noah splashing around at a water park. Big smiles, sun shining, no school in sight. They were at a freaking water park, the one Noah's been talking about for weeks. The one I promised I'd take him to. I saw red. I felt this primal rage, like I wanted to scream. I called Bethany, my hands shaking so bad I could barely hold the phone. What the hell, Bethany? You lied to me, you lied to the kids. Her response, ice cold. Oh, relax, Ethan, it was a last-minute thing, don't be such a drama queen. Besides, you probably couldn't afford it anyway. Couldn't afford it? I'm skipping meals to pay her made-up expenses, and she has the nerve to say that. I wanted to throw my phone across the room. I sat there numb. It hit me then like a ton of bricks. She wasn't just trying to get money, she was trying to erase me, to replace me. And the worst part was she was using my own kids against me. I felt so powerless. So after that water park debacle, I tried to be the bigger person. I know, stupid, right? I texted her. Tried to keep it calm, even though I was still seething. Bethany, I wrote, I saw the pictures, I know you lied about the school thing. This isn't right, it's not fair to the kids and it's not fair to me. Her response. Oh my God, Ethan, you're being so dramatic, you're always trying to control me. Can't I just have a fun day with my kids without you freaking out? Control her. I'm the one being controlled. I'm being played like a fiddle. My hands were shaking again. I could feel my blood pressure spiking. I tried again. It's not about control, Bethany, it's about honesty, it's about our agreement, it's about me being a father to my children. You're being ridiculous, she texted back. You're just jealous that I can give them things you can't. Jealous? I'm busting my ass working 6 days a week, and she's twisting it like I'm the bad guy. I felt this tightness in my chest. I literally couldn't breathe. I decided to call my mom, hoping for some kind of support, some kind of sanity. Big mistake. Ethan, she sighed, after I explained the situation, Bethany's just trying to do what's best for the children. Maybe you should focus on getting a better job so you can afford to take them to water parks. A better job? I'm a skilled carpenter, I work hard. But that's the thing with my family, they've always looked down on me. Always seen me as the failure. And Bethany, she's learned to play that tune perfectly. My sister chimed in because of course she did. Honestly, Ethan, she said, her voice dripping with condescension, Bethany's a doctor. She knows what's good for the kids. Maybe you should just trust her judgment. Trust her judgment. The woman who lied about a school function to keep my kids from me. I wanted to scream. I wanted to break something. That's when it hit me. This wasn't normal. This wasn't just a disagreement between exes. This was a coordinated attack. Bethany, my mother, my sister, they were all ganging up on me. They were all enabling her toxic behavior. And I was trapped in the middle. I hung up on them. Just hung up. I felt this emptiness. Like I was completely alone. And suddenly I felt terrified. Terrified for my kids. Terrified of what Bethany would do next. This isn't right. A week later and things have gone from bad to nuclear. Bethany's now demanding extra money for unforeseen expenses. School trips, new sports equipment for Noah. Lily's suddenly developed a need for horseback riding lessons. It's a never-ending list, and every time I question it, she threatens to withhold visitation. It's for the kids, Ethan, she says, her voice dripping with fake sweetness. Don't you want them to have the best, the best? What about the best dad, the one who's being systematically erased from their lives? I'm going broke. Seriously, I'm eating ramen for dinner every night so I can afford to pay her these ridiculous demands. I'm terrified of what will happen if I don't pay. Will I lose my kids completely? That thought keeps me up at night, but the money isn't even the worst part. My family, they're now fully on Bethany's side. My mom called me yesterday, lecturing me about my financial responsibilities. Ethan, she said, her voice tight with disapproval, Bethany tells me you're struggling to keep up with the children's expenses. You need to step up. Your brother and sister are both successful. Why can't you be more like them? Are you kidding me? I'm so sick of being compared to them. I'm a good dad, I work hard. But it doesn't matter what I do, it's never enough for them. And then, the icing on the crazy cake, my sister posted something on Facebook. A vague, passive-aggressive post about deadbeat dads who prioritize their own needs over their children's. Everyone in the family knows it's about me. The comments are filled with people I barely know chiming in with their 2 cents. I feel publicly humiliated. SHAMED, I haven't been sleeping, I can't eat. My anxiety is through the roof. I feel like I'm drowning. I'm starting to think I'm going crazy. This can't keep going on. I have to do something. I have to fight back. I'm starting to document everything. Every text, every email, every Facebook post. I'm going to expose her. I have to, for my kids, for myself. I'm starting to think I need a lawyer. Any advice, Reddit? I'm seriously losing it here. So I was talking to my neighbor, Sarah, the other day. She's a single mom, too, and I don't know, she just gets it. I was hesitant to say anything at first. I mean, talking about your ex, especially like this, it feels weak, you know. But I was at my breaking point. I just blurted it out. The water park thing, the extra expenses, the horseback riding lessons that Lily apparently needs now, the whole twisted saga. Sarah just stared at me, her jaw dropped. Wait, she said. She's demanding extra money and threatening to keep your kids from you if you don't pay, and your family is backing her up. I nodded, feeling this shame creep in. Yeah, I mumbled, they think I'm just being cheap, that I should be more like my brother and sister. Sarah's eyes narrowed. Ethan, she said, her voice low and serious, this isn't normal. This isn't about money. This is control. This is abuse. Abuse. That word hit me like a punch to the gut. I'd never thought of it like that before. I'd always thought abuse was physical, not this insidious, manipulative crap. She's isolating you, Sarah continued, from your kids, from your family, from your support system. She's making you question your own sanity. She's making you feel like you're the problem. It was like she was reading my mind. That's exactly how I felt, crazy, like I was losing it. You need to document everything, Sarah said, her voice firm. Every text, every email, every demand. You need to start building a case. She told me about her own custody battle, how she documented everything her ex had done, how it had helped her in court. She even gave me the name of her lawyer. And then she said something that just, everything clicked. Ethan, she said, looking me right in the eye, you have rights, you're their father, and you deserve to be in their lives. You have rights. You deserve to be in their lives. It sounds so simple, but hearing someone else say it, someone who understood it, was like a weight lifted off my chest. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't a bad dad. I was being manipulated, and I could fight back. I started crying. Just this wave of relief mixed with anger and sadness and hope. For the first time in months, I felt like I wasn't drowning, like I could actually breathe again. Sarah just sat there with me, listening, offering support. And in that moment, I knew I wasn't alone. I knew I could do this. I could fight for my kids. I could fight for myself. This conversation, it changed everything. It was a turning point. I finally felt like I could see a way out. The text from Bethany landed like a grenade. $1,000 for Lily's emergency dental work. Need it by tomorrow. If I don't get it, you won't see the kids for a very long time. $1,000. Emergency. Lily had a checkup just 2 weeks ago. The dentist said everything was fine. My blood ran cold. This wasn't just another one of her money grabs. This was insane. I felt this sickening lurch in my stomach. Nausea mixed with white-hot rage. I was done. Absolutely, utterly done. All the months of gaslighting, the manipulation, the constant draining of my bank account, the emotional torture, it all culminated in this one text. This one outrageous, unbelievable lie. Something snapped inside me. It was like this switch flipped. I wasn't scared anymore. I wasn't ashamed. I was furious. My hands were shaking, but not with fear this time. With anger, with resolve, I could feel my heart pounding in my chest. My breathing was shallow and fast. I paced my apartment, my mind racing. This wasn't about the money anymore. This was about my kids, about protecting them from this toxic, manipulative woman. That's when I made the decision. I was done playing her games. I was done being her victim. I was going to fight. I grabbed my laptop, opened the folder where I'd been meticulously documenting Bethany's lies and extortion, and started composing an email to Sarah's lawyer. This was it, the moment everything changed, the moment I took back control, the moment I decided to become the father my kids deserved. No more Mr. Nice Guy. No, more. Okay, Reddit, buckle up. This is how I prepped for war. After that last text from Bethany, the one about the fake emergency dental work, I knew I couldn't just roll over and play dead anymore. I was done. First, I gathered all the evidence. Remember how Sarah told me to document everything? Thank God I listened. I had a folder on my laptop, meticulously organized. Screenshots of Bethany's texts, emails demanding money, copies of bank statements showing the payments I'd made, even screenshots of her sister's passive-aggressive Facebook posts. Petty, I know, but it painted a picture. I printed everything, multiple copies. This was my ammunition. Next, I called Sarah's lawyer. This guy, Mark, he was a shark. Exactly what I needed. We met, I laid out everything, showed him the mountain of evidence. He listened, asked questions, and then he said the words I'd been longing to hear. We have a case. My strategy: hit Bethany where it hurts, custody. Mark explained that we could file for a modification, citing Bethany's manipulative behavior and her blatant disregard for our custody agreement. The goal: more time with my kids, less money lining Bethany's pockets. Boom, but this wasn't just about legal strategy. This was personal. I knew Bethany would come at me with everything she had. She'd paint me as the unstable one, the deadbeat dad. I needed to be prepared, so I started working on myself. I started eating properly again, sleeping more, exercising. I needed to be strong, both physically and mentally. I started seeing a therapist, too, talking about everything: the gaslighting, the manipulation, the feeling of helplessness. It helped. It helped me see clearly. It helped me find my voice again. Sarah was my rock through all of this. She listened, she offered advice, she reminded me of my worth as a father. She even offered to come with me to the court hearing. Having her support, it meant everything. I knew this wasn't going to be easy. I knew Bethany would fight dirty. But I was ready. I had my evidence, I had my lawyer, I had my support system. And most importantly, I had my reason, my kids. I was ready to fight for them. I was ready to fight for myself. I was ready to win. This wasn't just a confrontation anymore. This was a resurrection. The courtroom was cold, sterile. The air crackled with tension. Bethany sat across from me, looking smug, confident. My lawyer, Mark, sat beside me, a reassuring presence. Sarah was in the row behind us, offering a silent wave of support. My hands were clammy, but I held my head high. This was it. The judge, a stern-looking woman with steel-gray hair, addressed us. This hearing is to discuss a modification to the existing custody agreement between Mr. Ethan Miller and Dr. Bethany Miller. Bethany's lawyer, some slick guy in a ridiculously expensive suit, started his spiel. The usual crap about Bethany being a devoted mother and me being, well, not. He talked about my unstable financial situation, my inability to provide for the children. I clenched my jaw, fighting the urge to jump up and scream. Then Mark stood. Your Honor, he said, his voice calm and measured, we have evidence that Dr. Miller has been using the children as leverage to extort money from Mr. Miller. Bethany's lawyer scoffed. That's a ridiculous accusation, Mark simply smiled. Is it? He asked, turning to the court clerk. Exhibit A, Your Honor. The clerk handed the judge a thick stack of printed documents, my evidence. Bethany's texts demanding money, the emails, the bank statements, the Facebook posts, all of it. As the judge read through the documents, Bethany's smug expression started to crack. Her face paled. Her lawyer shifted uncomfortably in his seat. This was the moment I'd been waiting for. Mark continued, laying out the case point by point. He talked about the water park incident, the fabricated expenses, the constant threats. He painted a picture of a manipulative, controlling woman who was using her children as pawns in a twisted game. Dr. Miller, Mark said, his voice rising, isn't it true that you denied Mr. Miller visitation under false pretenses? Bethany stammered. I had to for the children. For the children. Mark repeated, his voice dripping with sarcasm. Or for your own financial gain. Bethany's eyes darted around the room, searching for an escape. There wasn't one. She was trapped. Then something unexpected happened. Lily, who'd been sitting quietly beside Bethany, stood up. Tears streamed down her face. "It's not true," she cried, her voice trembling. "Mommy lied. She said Daddy couldn't afford to take us to the water park. She said," Lily's voice broke, "she said Daddy didn't love us anymore." The courtroom fell silent. Everyone stared at Lily, her small frame shaking with sobs. Bethany's face was ashen. She looked defeated. That was the turning point. The moment the power shifted, the truth was out. The judge looked at Bethany, her expression unreadable. "Dr. Miller," she said, her voice cold and hard, "I find your behavior reprehensible." Bethany opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. The judge continued, "I am granting Mr. Miller increased visitation rights, effective immediately. Furthermore, I am ordering you to attend co-parenting counseling. And," she added, looking directly at Bethany, "I am warning you. Any further attempts to manipulate or extort Mr. Miller will result in severe consequences." Bethany just sat there, stunned. Her lawyer looked like he'd seen a ghost. I felt this overwhelming sense of relief. I wanted to cheer, I wanted to laugh, I wanted to cry. I did cry, actually. Silent tears of joy and vindication. I looked back at Sarah, who gave me a thumbs up and a small, knowing smile. I looked at Lily, who was now being comforted by a court officer. And in that moment I knew I'd won. Not just in court, but in life. I'd fought back. I'd stood up for myself, I'd protected my kids, and finally I could breathe again. This was the price of silence, and it was a price I was no longer willing to pay. This is just the beginning, but it's a good beginning, a damn good beginning. Update. The price of silence, the aftermath. Wow, Reddit, just wow. I'm still processing everything that happened in that courtroom. The silence after Lily spoke, the look on Bethany's face, I'll never forget it. Immediately after the judge's ruling, Bethany stormed out, followed by her lawyer. No eye contact, no goodbye to Lily or Noah. Just gone. I felt a pang of something. Pity maybe, but mostly I felt this huge wave of relief. Like a giant weight had been lifted off my chest. Lily ran to me, sobbing. I held her tight, whispering reassurances. Noah, bless his heart, just looked confused. He's only 6, so he didn't fully understand what was happening. But he knew something had changed. He knew he could be with his dad more. Sarah came over and we just hugged. No words were needed. She knew, she'd been through it herself. Her support through all of this, I don't know what I would have done without her. It's been 3 months since the hearing. Things are different. Better in many ways. I have the kids every other weekend now, plus 2 weeknights. It's not 50-50, but it's a huge improvement. Lily and Noah are starting to relax around me again. They're laughing more, talking more. We're rebuilding our bond. That's what matters most. The financial burden is also significantly lighter. No more emergency expenses, no more ridiculous demands. I can actually afford to take my kids to the movies, buy them new shoes without worrying about how I'm going to pay rent. I'm eating real food again, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. My relationship with Bethany is still strained, to say the least. She's barely speaking to me, and when she does, it's icy. The co-parenting counseling isn't going well. She's still playing the victim, blaming me for everything. I know this is going to be a long, difficult process. My family, well, that's a mixed bag. My mom and sister are still giving me the cold shoulder. They haven't apologized for taking Bethany's side, for doubting me. It hurts, but I'm starting to realize that their opinions don't define me. My brother, on the other hand, reached out. He apologized. He said he should have listened to me, that he should have believed me. We're slowly starting to rebuild our relationship. That means a lot. This whole experience has changed me. I'm stronger. I'm more assertive. I'm no longer afraid to speak up for myself. I've learned the importance of setting boundaries, of protecting myself and my children from toxic people. I've learned that being a good dad isn't about money, it's about being present, being loving, being there for your kids. I still have bad days. Days when the anger and the hurt resurface. But I'm getting through them. I'm focusing on the positive. I'm focusing on my kids. So, Reddit, has anyone else been through something similar? How did you handle it? Any advice on navigating co-parenting with a high-conflict ex? I could really use some support.